woman barged into 80-year-old estranged husband's home and shot him because she didn't want a divorce. It's a love story, kids. I don't think that's a very good way to reconcile, though. Whatever happened to just saying, I'm sorry? What's wild about this is the closest this man got to an apology from that woman is an attempt on his life. An Arizona woman. Arizona is like the Florida of the West. Allegedly barged into her 80-year-old estranged husband's home, confronted him while he was in bed, and shot him because she did not want a divorce, according to officers. The Prescott Police Department announced that Christina Pasqualetto, 62, is charged with attempted first-degree murder and aggravated assault. I'm going to go on ahead and risk it all by saying breakfast in bed would have been a much better way to smooth things over than shooting him. I mean, look at her. She looks like she belongs in Arkham Asylum. It was Harley Quinn, it was Poison Ivy, and then it was Christina Pasqualetto. Pasqualetto also faces a count each of forgery and theft after her estranged husband said she had stolen checks and forged a check about a week before for $10,000 and cashed it. She allegedly admitted to this when talking to detectives, and officers claimed to find a deposit slip in her purse matching the transaction. See right there? That's why he don't want your ass right now. Don't nobody want no woman around him scamming and thieving. This guy is 80. He's lived a long life. However many years he has left, I'm sure he doesn't want it to consist of whatever stink you're bringing to the table. Police said they responded Wednesday just after midnight. Midnight, you know he had probably been asleep since like 4 o'clock that afternoon to the 200 block of Thoroughbred Drive about a shooting. They determined a man sustained a gunshot wound to his wrist. First responders treated him at the scene and took him to a local hospital before flying him out to a Phoenix area facility. Investigators said the 80-year-old victim Pasqualetto had been divorcing and were separated for several months. The man had changed the locks at his home. Ain't nothing changed but the keys and the codes, but the keys and other items had gone missing, officers said. He suspected his wife had taken them. Think about it. You're an 80-year-old bachelor. You find yourself a young girl, 62. She's a tornado in the sack. And only after you marry her, you find out she's guano. Hell, it's Arizona. There might just be some meth sprinkled in the storyline behind the scenes somewhere. The defendant allegedly told cops she did not want to get divorced, so she drove from the city of Gilbert to Prescott, arriving before midnight. The cities are about a 120-mile drive from each other. The more I read this, the more it does sound like meth. The suspect reported that when she arrived, the victim was in bed, and she came into the bedroom where a verbal argument ensued about the divorce. Authorities wrote he still wanted the divorce and refused to change his mind. Absolutely. It can't come quick enough. She pulled out a handgun and shot him while he was still in bed, officers said. That's amore. What are your thoughts? Do you think this woman is crazy in love or just plain old crazy? Because why would the gun even be in the equation in the first place? But he managed to knock her down and she dropped the gun, according to cops. The victim was able to escape after striking Pasqualetto with his hands and elbows to escape the situation, they wrote. He reached the neighbor's home to call 911. That's a tough old man. I don't know what she thought. Yup, he probably got some military experience. Hell, at 80, he probably has experience dealing with women that should be in straitjackets, period.